Greetings and welcome to the many modes and visualizations of Black Snow Art. I am the artist, photographer, designer, illustrator, writer and author, KeeKeeDonz. This is video number 6. You could call it part 6, I guess. Part 5 going into part 6. But anyway, I wanted to explain thing or two before I get off into the modes. I know the next video you'll see is Hobo Nation, but there's some other things you need to know before you get off into the modes. I think when I left off with the last video, I think I was talking about the time I came back from Sacramento after finishing college and establishing the business out there. I made it home, made it back to New Jersey. I struggled with making myself an artist out there, you know, being way out there. You know, I knew people, but I didn't know people like I know back home. Like I said, I was a stranger out there in a strange land, but yeah. Another thing is, between all of these things that I'm talking about, you know, it is so much life that was lived in between. It's hard for me to remember everything in detail. We're going back all the way to 91, 92, 93. Yeah, it was a lot going on. There's a lot going on. But anyway, we here, what is it? I got here, it's Monday, February 9th, 4:50 p.m. I'm hungry. But anyway, I'm gonna try and do this video. It's hard to keep it under 3 minutes, but I'm gonna do what I could do. But anyway, what I was saying is, I made it back here to New Jersey and tried to establish myself again. Like I had the booth out there in Union Market and was working a job, you know, that got hectic, you know, working 5 days a week, and then trying to do the booth from Thursday to Sunday. You know, I tried it, you know, I tried to make it work. You know, it was introductory, and I'm going to always mention the challenges, the struggle, and the difficulties. But anyway, I tried doing that, and I ended up shutting the booth down. You know, I wasn't getting the business. and I was wearing myself thin, so I had to regroup. So brought everything home, and during that period, like I said, I started the family. I did the family thing. That kind of like put everything on the back burner. Not necessarily back burner, but I was trying other things while I was trying to work. You know, I started working, like I had 2 jobs, and I ended up with a 3rd one, and you know, it just, you know, it got to the point where I had the money but didn't have the time. Then, you know, I had the time, then I didn't have the money. So I battled with that for many years. Many years. Yeah, the whole time I was doing the family thing. I think I went through a decade of that. So, you know, I was still doing my art, trying to get better, you know. I stayed focused. You know, my art is a great part of me, man. It kept me alive. It's keeping me alive. So, yeah. I eventually, like, after all the family went down, I ended up doing some t-shirts, and I pushed them around for a minute. You know, chronologically, I'm you know, it's hard to remember all of this stuff, man. But in between 1995 and 2005, okay, I did the family thing, and then that didn't go down, and I ended up, you know, it was one of them things where you go to sleep with everything, and then you wake up with nothing. So I'm going through life, and it's all of this unexpected stuff that you don't see, but you know, you go through it. This is what Hobo Nation is all about. All right, you got the journey and you got the destination. So between the two, you know, I'm in the middle, and I'm going through all the challenges, the ups and downs, the ins, the outs, the what's, the where, the why, the, you know, everything. You go through the fire. All right. I knew I had to get better, so, you know, going through the fire that's what I did. I'm still going through the fire. And, you know, I don't believe in taking shortcuts. But, yeah, I did it like that. So I kept doing it. 2005 came around. I went to California, back out. I went to San Diego. You know, after the family thing, oh man, I was torn apart. And the only thing that kept me together was my art, of course. But yeah, ended up going to San Diego, stayed out there for 4 years, and it wasn't no cakewalk, but I went out there to get away from the madness. But that's in the book. I have to buy the book. But you know, along the way, I met some good people out there, and you know, it was wonderful. You gotta buy the book. I could go into details, but we don't have the time for it in the, you know, video here. But I made it back to New Jersey because my father got sick, and I came back here, and oh man, it was a whole lot, man. It was a whole lot. It was like a bomb being dropped in my lap. All right, my dad found out my dad had prostate cancer. Then my sister, she had breast cancer, and then it hit my mother. So, you know, oh my God, I got stuck here, but you know, I had to do all of that, and that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, I still continue my art and my photography, and while I was doing all of that, I got to tell you about at Newark Brick City. There's some of the footage of it, but that Newark City, Brick City, that Brick City documentary on HBO. Oh, I saw that while I was in San Diego, and you know, I had in my mind I wanted to get back there, and I wanted to meet Donna Jackson, I wanted to meet Roz Baraka and the family. Oh man, I'll tell you about it all. But this is not the video. But anyway, we're nearing the end of this. Yeah, this is the end of this folder. So I'm hoping that you got some kind of inclination of my art, you know, and the direction it's going, and how I want you guys to perceive it. You're gonna perceive the way you want to, but I'm just trying to put it in a formation in which I won't be misunderstood. It's difficult being misunderstood, but I've been trying to get y'all to understand what it is I'm trying to do for the past 38 years, I guess, 40 years. Anyway, look, this video is going to end. I'm gonna get off into the next modes, which is the Hobo Nation, and I'm going to explain Broke Joe, I'm going to explain the MF, and I'm going to explain the sports logo. These are all of the irons that I have in the fire, so stay tuned for that, and be patient with me. I'm trying to get all of this together. All right, we'll see you in the next video.